Attention, Geek Nation! The General here, and I am bringing you 5 ways Spider-Man Homecoming is trying to erase your memory. Okay, so maybe they're not trying to actually erase your memory like the Men in Black, but there were some big changes in this Spider-Man, and I noticed them as I was watching them last night. And so I wanted to share those things with you, the 5 ways I believe that they are trying to erase your memory of Spider-Man, specifically in the films. I am the General, also known as Ryan Ramsey, and you have reached General Geekery, your source for everything geek-related, and your one-stop shop for all the things that you love. So let's dig into this today. Spider-Man Homecoming, as I watched it, is literally trying to erase my memory of what Spider-Man is like. And so in doing that, talking about this, I'm going to have major spoilers in this. So if you haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming, please stop now. If you're still watching, I assume you've seen it, and it's on you now. So we shall continue. Number 5 reason why they're trying to erase your memory. What about Aunt May? What's going on here, okay? She's like nothing like any Aunt May we've had before, right? So if you remember right, we had these, and now Marissa Tomei. And so I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, they've gone a really different direction, right? So like before Aunt May was like this old like grandma type, right? Then she became like this mom, late mom type. But now she's like an older sister. So what's going on? She dresses trendy. Tony Stark has a crush on her. He's always hitting on her and saying things like that. Like, this is a whole new direction. This completely changes the version of Aunt May that we have in our mind. They're trying to let us forget that Aunt May, old Aunt May, ever happened. So that's number 1. Also, addendum to this. Did you know that Robert Downey Jr. and Marissa Tomei were in a movie together before? In fact, they dated from what some sources say. So was this awkward? We don't know. Was it awkward? Who knows? We see that this is a new direction for Aunt May. Number 4 is the fact that his best friend already knows a secret in this movie. We spent 2 films with Tobey Maguire before his friend found out, and then it ended up being, he became his enemy, his dad, the whole thing happened with his dad, they killed him, they tried to kill him. Anyways, that wasn't resolved until the 3rd one, in which we saw him help out Spider-Man until he died, right? Well, in this one, right away, his best friend knows who he is, and he's already helping him out, calling him the man in the chair. This is a reference to almost every superhero has a man in the chair, right? So we think about DC Comics, I think about Batman in specific, and I think about the Oracle, right? Who waits back at the lair, the old Batgirl. She is the girl in the chair, the woman in the chair. His best friend not only knows his identity, but has now become the man in the chair. They're trying to erase the idea that this old version of Spider-Man is alone. He's doing everything on his own. And so they're helping you to see, hoping that you see that Spider-Man is not this lone savior. He has help and he has friends, right? So this leads me to number 3. He is not alone. And this isn't actually a continuation of the last one, but this is a different thing. In the original Spider-Mans, we see him just being Spider-Man and saving New York City and doing all that. But now he has the Avengers, and we see multiple cameos in this of Captain America, lots of Iron Man and Tony Stark. We hear references to Black Widow and Hulk. We see Thor mask and all those. So we know that Spider-Man is not alone in this. He's just one superhero among many. And in fact, he is asked to join the Avengers at the end, and then he turns it down so he can be the man on the ground, right? That we hear him talk about. So they're trying to remind us that he is not alone anymore. This is not the same Spider-Man. The number 2 way that they are changing this whole environment of Spider-Man that they have is that they have decided to harken back to the original. The first thing I saw when watching this Spider-Man Homecoming was the original Spider-Man theme song playing in a more orchestral version, a more polished version, right? And so I'm thinking, wow, this is like awesome. Spider-Man, right? So I was hearing that, and I was hearing them play that, and I was thinking, wow, they're going all the way back to the originals. And it made me think, they're intentionally trying to erase all the Spider-Mans that have happened since the original show that aired with that theme song. So they are even subconsciously like, ooh, none of this other Spider-Man stuff happened. This is just right after all of this, just act like all those other Spider-Mans didn't happen. Erase them from your memory, right? So they are not afraid of the original Spider-Man, but they are steering completely away from the newer Spider-Mans from 2000 and on, right? The last thing I have for you that is different, the way that they're trying to erase the old Spider-Man from your memory, is that Flash is a whole different kind of rival. Remember in the originals, he was always like this huge like jock, and he always had Mary Jane, and it was like, I could never be Flash. He's so cool. He can throw the football, and he gets the girls, and then he becomes Spider-Man, and then of course he's athletic and all that. But this is a whole different kind of Flash. He's not this huge hulking guy. In fact, he's kind of a nerd like Peter Parker is. And he is also not the coolest at all. And he's not strong. So it's interesting. They've put him more on Peter's playing field as a person. And so they've changed this whole dynamic with Flash, made him his rival within the group. So they've changed that. So these are the 5 big things I've noticed that Marvel is doing to erase the old Spider-Mans from our memory so that they can start fresh and new. What else did you notice? I want to hear in the comments, how is this Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming different than the Spider-Mans that we watched growing up on the big screen, right? So comment down below on how it's different and what are some of the things I missed, or do you agree or disagree with what I'm saying? Just let me know down in the comments. I'd like to start a discussion down there. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the way out so you don't miss anything that comes out from us. It'll automatically go to your feed then if you're subscribed. Until next time, I am the General and you are dismissed.